I don't think I master new champions. I think I pick up champions, but it's not like I'm necessarily master them. Some of them, like if I really like a champion, I will probably learn it a lot more quicker than others. I mean, I used to play a lot of different champions, but back in the days, you didn't have to master them to necessarily do well on them. So this was the difference between now and before. Before, it was much more easier to pick up new champions and play them on stage or whatever. Now, if you play a new champion, you need to know a lot of more things than you didn't have to before. So I think it's just about really thinking outside the box, and just since there's always new champions coming out, you have to think about what can be good against these new champions, and just try to learn the new counter sort of. I think support is, for me, is like a cool role because you get to play with someone else. Like you're as a duo basically. So for me, this is the funniest part of playing like support or bot lane sort of, is that you play with someone. So if your synergy with this person is good, then you're gonna play a lot better than people that have very little synergy. So I think for me it will be really interesting to learn and to actually like learn and improve with someone as a dual lane basically. Well, Origin was pretty much roller coaster, honestly. Like from not even being in Challenger, just qualifying to Challenger was like not like the first matches were pretty hard because it was super stressful for us. We were not, I think, like a lot of teams that have huge expectation, we tend to not play at the same level quite at the really beginning of Origen. Then we qualified for LCS. It was not that easy as people think it was. But yeah, the early part was like the first year was for sure the best. It was really nice overall. I really like the part that you're in a new team with sort of new teammates that I didn't play with. Like I didn't play with Amazing before, with Mithi, and Niels was like a new upcoming player. I played with Peke, but it was the only one. So I think the nicest part about like joining a new team is learning how to deal with like new teammates and just like being on them and just having new friends sort of, you know. So it like the first year was for sure the best, and we accomplished a lot more than what we expected. I mean, we expected to do well, but not as well for sure. There are some ups and downs obviously, but the first year was really nice in my opinion. Second year was a bit the downfall of Origen. So I obviously learned a lot more the second year about myself and about the, if I can say, like team-wise kind of stuff. How to deal with like certain situations that happen in teams. What I should improve on myself. What I wasn't like doing right, or just how to improve myself in general, and how to deal better in a team environment.
So what did you learn in that second year about yourself?
About myself, it's more about so for example, the team was going downfall, as I said, and for myself it was more about like focusing on myself. Like for example, when I was playing with Mithi, Niels and stuff in Origen the first year, there's the first year when we did well and stuff like that, a lot of times I will think more about like the team and what I could have done. So for some players, they need to learn how to be like a team player sort of, or to like cut certain things in the game to help the team. And for me, it was like pretty much the opposite that I had to learn in or Mithi was trying to tell me, was like how to be more selfish for my role, because at the time it was more carry oriented meta, like Fiora type of things. And when I was playing this type of champion, I was trying to group more than trying to stay on my lane or get jungle camps or stuff like that. So I was not putting enough pressure on my lane, and I was tending to group more when I shouldn't. So it's just about like, yeah, just trying to be more selfish. Second year, what I learned, just like communication wise, also shot calling a bit, because everyone sort of left and the team was like new. So I was watching a lot more replays. Just trying to teach sort of new player how to communicate properly. Example, like if you just ping and say I'm coming, just say I'm coming like 5 seconds from river, or I'm flanking. Like just like really small things, but just about like details sort of. Just learn how to be a better teammate. Just a lot of small things, like not necessarily big things, because I've been there for quite a while, but a lot of small things that have quite a lot of impact. I think most players that, I guess it depends of what coaches used to have as a player, but I think upcoming players or new players, what they want is someone with knowledge. I think a coach that have knowledge is probably the most important thing, in my opinion. And then obviously like the pack will be someone that have knowledge, but also that have like sort of charisma and can bring people together, like make a great team overall. But it's obviously harder due to the just like how the community was, and most of coaches are quite young and will maybe need to wait for certain players to retire or whatever to have like really good coach with knowledge, and eventually they will learn about their role as a coach, like charisma and all this stuff. But I think knowledge is really important, because if the coach doesn't have knowledge, he will probably tend to lose respect from his players, because if he don't know what he's talking about, then it's gonna be pretty hard for players to not necessarily like respect him. I mean, most players will respect the coach no matter what, but it's more about losing faith in the coach, or losing like just not thinking too much about what he's saying when he's saying it. So I think just knowledge is probably the most important thing.
Respect for coaches is more earned than it's just given.
I think for some players, like it depends about the coaches and the relation you have, because the coaches have different relation with each individual, right? So for some players, they will tend to lose trust depending of like on a weekly basis, or what happened during scrims, or what happened during the games overall, or maybe even outside the game. Maybe there's some issue outside the game, and the coach didn't deal well enough for the players, so he'll think badly about the coach, right? So there's a lot of different issues coming in, and it's just about like how the coach deal with them. And depending of how he deal with them, then some players will tend to lose respect for him, sort of. So it's pretty tough to be like always, at always have these great decisions as a coach, right? So, and especially that the players are young, so they will tend to get influenced a lot more by either the community or what other teammates are saying, so it's really hard, and since players are young, they get influenced a lot more by different factors.